Hello, my name is Valerie, and I'm one of the therapists at Counseling and Psychiatric Services, also known as CAPS, at the University of Georgia. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about death and dying in the time of coronavirus and social distancing. Some of you may experience a loss due to COVID-19, or you may experience a loss for another reason, or you may not be able to be at the hospital with someone who is dying now. These are all very hard experiences. And typically we turn to family and friends during these times for comfort and support. We gather at the person's home or at another family member's home, at a place of worship, and we share experiences and we share feelings and we have that sense of loss and hardship together. We're able to hug, we're able to cry, we're able to be seen and offered soothing words from our faith community, from our family, from our friends. Unfortunately, during our current times, we're discouraged from gathering. We're discouraged from travel. You may not be able to travel due to shelter-in-place orders. You may not be able to travel due to your own illness. There are a lot of different reasons. And there may not even be a funeral scheduled. And this can make the loss a little harder and sting a little bit more and be more disorienting. So right now we're encouraged to physically distance from people, but I want to encourage you not to emotionally distance from people. I want to encourage you to reach out. Reach out to friends, reach out to family, reach out to your faith community, reach out to your therapist if you already have one, and maybe establish a connection with a therapist if you don't already. Most therapists have moved their practices online and are able to offer sessions through video conferencing. Many places of worship have also moved online, and your pastor or priest or imam or whoever might be available to you could be available via at least phone, if not during video, during difficult times. And you may hesitate to reach out to other loved ones because they're grieving too, but I want you to encourage you to do it anyway. Humans have traditionally grieved in groups for hundreds of years. We tend to not be alone in times of loss, and I want you to reach out, and even if you just cry together, it is helpful to have that witness, to have that shared experience. And hopefully when this is over, we'll be able to schedule a celebration of life or some other kind of gathering for people to come together and have that experience of hugging and offer comfort. But trying to be creative and find other ways to do so right now is really important. Other ways to be seen and to be heard. It's important to remember that grief is a natural process. It's a mental process where a person adjusts to a new paradigm. All the thoughts and feelings and plans that you used to have for a person now don't have anywhere to go in this physical plane. And your system can reel to try to create a new understanding of what's happening, of what the world means now without that person. And so many emotions can come up when someone dies. The closer you are, the more intense those feelings might be. And if your relationship was complicated, there can be a lot of things that affect grief, and there's no one way to do it. There's no set schedule or guidelines for how to do it. It just is. You can't avoid it, you can't ignore it. You have to ride it out and have that experience in order to move through it and move to that place of acceptance. Some people refer to it as the stages of grief, but I prefer to refer to it as the states of grief, and so do other professionals as well. The common states that people experience are shock, denial, anger, numbness, bargaining, disorganization, depression, and hopefully eventually some acceptance. And it's possible to cycle through all those feelings in 1 hour or 1 week. It's possible to get stuck in one. It is always changing, and everyone experiences grief, but they all experience it a little bit differently. And being compassionate with yourself and with others is a really important tool for getting through grief. The only thing that makes grief better, so to speak, is time and allowing yourself to feel those feelings. Oftentimes people turn towards faith and prayer. People take comfort in feeling the presence of something bigger than them, whether that be God or a higher power, the universe, however you want to conceptualize it. Perhaps consider this quote from the book of Matthew. "Come to me all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So there may be a lot of questions or uncertainty around this belief, and that's a normal response. And that's another reason why reaching out to someone that you trust to explore these thoughts is important. Another skill that can be helpful regardless of your religious or spiritual beliefs is the practice of mindfulness. And mindfulness, when used with other spiritual frameworks, prayer, and meditation, can cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our experience on this planet. Mindfulness is simply paying attention on purpose to the present moment without any judgment, which is harder than it sounds. It's particularly challenging in the face of uncomfortable feelings. It's most challenging to turn towards those feelings and say, "I'm here for you and I welcome you," instead of following those other instincts to push it away, to numb it, to distract, to get out of it. I offer you this practice taught by Rashi Joan Halifax. She's a Buddhist nun and anthropologist who has written a lot about death and dying. So, taking a pause, whenever you have a little space for that, place your hand on your heart, and I want you to repeat these phrases to yourself. May I accept my sadness, knowing that I am not my sadness. May I accept my human limitations with compassion. May I be present with my suffering and meet it with equanimity and loving kindness. It can be hard to sit with discomfort and pain, but giving space and not judging yourself is one of the ways to help it not feel so intense. Your body will reprocess the situation. Your brain will make sense of this new situation, but only if you give it space and give it time. Another practice can be writing letters to the person who has died, giving your brain an outlet to say things that might need to be said, to process your emotions, and just externalize those thoughts. That can be very helpful in processing the experience of death, even though there's nowhere to send the letter necessarily. You're sending your thoughts to the paper, and that is healing. Handwriting has been shown to be the most therapeutic, but it's also okay if you type it. Whichever way helps you externalize those thoughts and get them out onto the paper. The main thing I want you to take away from this time today is that it is important to be patient and loving towards yourself when experiencing a death. Allow yourself to have the experience. You don't have to worry about doing it right or by anyone else's expectations or anyone else's timeline. It's your experience. It's your loss. And giving yourself a lot of extra grace during this challenging time can be a way to move through this experience. I leave you with this thought by Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a Vietnamese monk, Buddhist monk. When we lose someone we love, we should remember that the person has not become nothing. Something cannot become nothing, and nothing cannot become something. Science can help us understand this because matter cannot be destroyed. It can become energy. And energy can become matter, but it cannot be destroyed. In the same way our beloved was not destroyed. She's taken on another form. The form may be a cloud, a child, or the breeze. We can see our loved one in everything. And so, thank you for your time and attention today. I want you to take care of yourself, take care of each other. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone back on campus. I can't wait to see everyone back. And until then, I want you to take care and be well.